I thought you needed 6 men to lift that.
Well guys, they said it was going to be a 6-man lift, and unfortunately for us, I couldn't afford to leave it out on the street, and it started raining and people had to go to work, so by the time it had stopped raining and it was safe enough to lift, there was only me and Jamie there, so we just wanted to get it to a safe spot. So we bought these window suckers to move it, and they're a pump up vacuum one. And just pump it up like that. When the red line dips below there, you know you've got enough pressure. They lift 200 kilos. Both me and Jamie was a bit sceptical, and that's why we didn't lift it with all the other lads in the rain, because we didn't know how well it had stuck to it. So we left it a few hours, let the rain blow over, but there was only 2 of us, and you could see I struggled. I was not used to lifting that amount of weight. Jamie took it in his stride though, and you just press the button underneath and it releases it. These are really cool. I'll put a link in the description for these in case anyone needs to move grass. They're tried and tested, we've done them, it's brilliant. A couple of months ago I put a post on the UK Koi community Facebook group. It's run by Crafty, and it's got a lot of members in there, so I thought I'd reach a lot of people on where the best place was to buy glass. Lots of people popped up with the same answers, and then Mike, he messaged me to say, Arron, there's a company close to us that make it. I got my glass from there, maybe you should reach out to them. And I did. I'm glad I did as well, because the cost difference was massive. Now it turns out that this glass company, Fusion Glass, they make it for all the big pond companies as well, and they supply and ship to them for them to resell to you guys. So I'll put a link in the description to the guys from Fusion Glass, because I generally bought this with my money, and I generally shopped around to try and find a good deal, and it was the best deal out there by a long way. The window would have never been this size if it went down to the cost. It was going to be the same size as my dad's, but I got it bigger because I could afford to do it with this company. So if you're after a window, hit Fusion Glass up. Well guys, seeing as I don't have enough bodies to move the window, and I'm going to have to wait a little while to make sure I've got enough people to lift that in, Mike's messaged me to say we can start on the filter shed, but I need some materials. I need some plasticizer. I need to try and get a window so I can get down to where my drain is between my garage and next door's garage. I need to make a way of getting out of there, so like a bathroom fire escape window. I need some brick ties and a few other bits. So I popped to my dad's, as he has some leftover plasticizer, and he's been cracking on with his pond. Let me show you what he's doing. So he started to make his filter shed. Now he is after a bio. If anybody is selling one second hand, he wants a bio unit to go in here. So one of the Queenie Koi style Draco single unit ones to go in there. If anyone's got one, hit me up. He's in the market for buying one. The fish are all looking a lot happier, and obviously now you can see the quality of the water has now increased. It's still a little bit green. He did say to me, next time I'm at Stu's, can I get him a UV bulb? But he's this, the camera's not going to pick it up, but that shower is looking incredible. Got the plasticizer. So I'm back home and I've got all the bits I need for Mike to come round. And also the capping's turned up. Me and my dad have gone halves on a pallet of Brazilian slate to go around the copings of the pond, and they look brilliant. They've got like a really sparkly natural bits in them. They look really cool, to be fair. They'll look nice on the edge of the pond. So we went halves, we got them from Newstone, a website online. Got it delivered and they turned up on a pallet, nice and easy. Just need to take 50 of them to my dad's house. Good morning guys, welcome back to Humber Koi. It's currently early on a Sunday morning and we've had to deviate from what we was planning to do. We was planning to fit the window this week. The window got delivered. It's here and it rained really bad. Today what I'm going to be doing is building the filter shed or making a good start on it. I've got a window and a door for it, and Mike's currently putting the blocks down now. And why not get the help when you can? Mike can lay blocks quicker than anyone I've ever seen, and we're already four courses up in an hour, so kudos to Mike. I've just got a few bits in my van that he's asked me to get out. I bought a window and a few other bits. Now a lot of people are going to question why I've put a window facing next door's garage, but it's for access. It's so I can get out of it to get to the drainage. So we're going to have to step the wall of the front of the filter house in order for the air source heat pump to sit on it. And one thing I've noticed is they do get rid of a lot of water on there. If you notice, the underneath of this is soaking from what it discharges, the condensation. So I'm trying, worked out where the hole is, where it comes out is about here, and I'm going to drill through the base to try and get the water to ground rather than having it just go on top of the step and then freeze and someone slip. Mike's absolutely blasting that wall out there. And then this is where we're going to put a window as like a fire escape style to get down the side so we can get to the drainage. We'll put it at the same height as the bio unit. So if I have to climb over the bio to get in, I'm not going to get stuck behind it. So hopefully that'll work out. But nice cheap window off Facebook Marketplace. So I did want to get this hole drilled before Mike was close to the wall because I didn't know if I'd get the angle with the drill to do that, but I'm going to put a bit of 15mm plastic pipe down there. Hopefully that should stop anything getting blocked inside it. Brick tying the windows and the walls. Just put a little piece to steady it on next door's garage. There's no sill on this because this is off a caravan window, but I thought it was thin enough to touch their wall so I can slip out and get to where all the drainage is. But yeah, 40 quid off Facebook Marketplace. So the next job on my list, I've cut this in half because the window is just about to be put on it, so it can just be lifted off from this side, and I've siliconed it in. And then the tiles and the window are going to go over this. So we've just timbered the window to the fence so we can plumb it up to brick it into it, and we're using brick ties on the edge of the window onto the blocks that are going in. So, but that is going to look brilliant to be in here and looking down at the pond with an opening window. And this is the reason why I cut the skimmer box, so I could still get to it from the window. Like it was meant to happen, that. You don't make it look so easy, Mike.
That's what they were saying last week.
Yeah.
Joe's trying to lay them. How do you get it to stick like that?
Yeah. Do you want me to dive behind that and point that off once we've done that corner? So it's 10 to 2. So the bacon sandwich. Dinner of champions, that into it, and we are for halfway. Well guys, Mike's gone. I've just finished pointing up this last bit of the wall here. God, he's trooped on today. We've got a right load done. So window, that's my opening window to get down the side to the drainage. These opening windows here, all using ties. It's still clamped to the fence because it's only got one side on at the moment. And the door, and each course it's getting tied into the blockwork. It's screwed to the wall and the floor. So it's full of water. And I want to do the capping across the back because it's going to be easier to walk through and do that than do it there. When the window goes in, it's going to make it a bit difficult climbing in and out. A bit more pipe bodgery onto a hoover and into the drain. Let's plug it in and see if it works. Looks like there's water coming out of that there, so I think we're onto a winner. And into the drain. That's going to save a load of work. So I'll leave this on for a little bit, pump all the water out, and then I can go down the back and make my life a bit easier by doing that. I need to set a little jig up, a piece of wood or something I can put on the back of every tile so I get the equal distance overhang on the outside, so it's the same all the way around. Now throughout all of this, one thing that I can say is the fish have not suffered in that temporary pond. They are flying and they do look absolutely exceptional at the moment. A maximum amount of overhang I can get on the back with the cladding. So I'm going to make and set my set square to that distance so it's the same all the way around. And then I should have a nice even gap there. I'm going to use some multi-stick to stick this surface down with, and then I'm just going to use either MS300 or CT1 on the back. Obviously already I've identified a problem here because it will need cutting for the post. Dust on my glasses from grinding. Fencing square to the garden, and I've done the pond square to the path so it looks right as you're looking down it. So we need to square the fence off a bit better. So I'm going to mark the tiles that need a mark on them for the fence. I want it so if anything happens there, it's not going to be sharp on the fish. But that's going to look nice along there, especially when it's all cleaned up and looks like this. And there is a deliberate reason why I've left that much overhang, because we've got some cladding to go on the outside, and the cladding with that looks a good overhang. I'll show you that when we get to the front. These are the Sharpie lines I was saying, so I've set my square, and then that way the fence will run down equal the same distance along the back of the pond rather than being tapered with a big gap at one side and a little gap at the other. So this is what I'm going to be using to put it down with. I'm going to do the centre of it with this Silka multi-stick. Just do a square, put the tile down, get it nice and level, and then I'm going to go around the inside edge with some black CT1 MS300, whichever is the most cost effective for me to do it with, just to create a nice seal on the bottom of that so there's no sharp edge. Stop water running in or out of the pond there. It won't run out with it. Right, let's get this cornerstone set, and then I can sharpen my fence line on it. So this is the stuff that Mike recommended. We used it to glue the insulation to the wall of the pond. It really stuck. Proper good stuff. There is a story behind this stuff though. I accidentally sent it to Somerset. So I sent Marcus from Humber Koi a bottle of rum for his birthday. I forgot to change my delivery address back to home. So it ended up in Somerset rather than here. But he's a good lad. He put it in a fish box and posted me it back.
I'm going down as fast as I can so I can still do any adjustment while it's still wet, as this stuff does go off pretty quick.
It's on.
Obviously with the white stuff I've got a black seal right the way down the edge, make it look a bit smarter. And I'm up to here. This one's not set yet because I'm gonna have to do some more cuts before I make it go down like that. But that can be done from outside the pond when the window's in, so I'll get them done. I might cut these ones tomorrow, and then I can get the fence back on, which will be nice. One thing that I did do though is, when I did state earlier on that I was marking the tiles where the fence needed to come up to. I marked this one. I've cleaned it off now, but I put the tile on backwards so the marker's at the front. Idiot. Couldn't believe I did it, to be fair. When I was looking I was like, God, have I calculated that wrong? And then I realised what I'd done. I'd marked it before I glued it. I just need all the silicone to dry before I can give it a good wash down. I still need to denib the pond and give it a salt wash. That will be the last thing I do before hoovering it out and filling it up properly. But I'm going to call it a day. I'll join you back tomorrow with a bit more work. Well guys, I've just woken up, taken a look out the window, and my word, there is steam coming off the pond. I never thought I'd seen that. Good morning guys, it's the next day and I've just come out to see how well the coping stones have set, and they're looking pretty nice. I've just given them a wash down, they're all set solid and it looks great. And now I'm going to start on the fencing. So the first post is going to require no packing, this one might require 2 inch, and I think this one's going to require a load. It's just going to need a bit of innovation to get the fence to look straight across the tiles, but not a massive hard job, just a bit of faffing about for a bit. I do still need to get a pipe down the back of there. Probably should have done that first, but I'll be able to sneak down the side, hopefully shove it down the inside until I can get it where I need it. But that's a 2-man job and I need a bit more pressure pipe to do that. So I'm just going to first of all trying to get it level, and then I've put my set square down the back to try and gauge where the hole is to drill it through, and then I'm going to pack it off until it's the same distance off the front of the pond here as here, and then continue it along. Hopefully that will give me enough space here but make the fence look uniform to the pond. This is what I was trying to achieve with packing the fence off, and I've got it somewhere close now. So this piece of wood is to simulate a fence lap, and when I put my square on it, it meets it here, it meets it there, and meets it at this end as well. So it'll just make the fence look uniform to the pond with having the same amount of coping stone and not look off centre. I know when me and Mike did originally lay it out, the question was asked, well, the path and the garage are not square to the fence. I was like, just make the pond the same as the path and the garage and I'll square the fence off later. That's the easiest one of the two to do. I'm going to get the other stringer on now, and then I'm going to get some lunch, I think. But should be easy now, I've got all the packers in the right place. I'm not going to lie, guys, this is going to be complete guesswork, but it's behind the fence, so if I make a mistake, it's not really a problem. I need to hit that, through that, and then through the hole in the concrete fence. I'm eyeing about there. Is it going to go all the way through? Oh, get in. So I'm on to the small bit now. Now I did buy a couple of new pieces of wood, but I know I need them for the capping on the top, so I might just use the old bit of wood out the scrap pile of wood to do this bit. Waste not, want not. I don't really want to cut up a brand new piece for that. So that's the fence railings done. Look all right, and it'll keep it equal distance from the fence. Now I was going to start putting the fence railings on, but I do need to get a pipe down the back of there. Morning guys, another early morning. I'm just trying to get prepped for Mike coming. Don't think I'll be spinning the mixer up just yet though, because I think it'll upset the neighbours, but let's get everything out and get it all ready for Mike getting here. So what I'm doing here is I'm drilling the pond wall and putting brick ties in, and that's securing the filter shed to the pond to make it one building. I'm also doing the same with the door. The door will be tied into the blockwork to make everything nice and strong. Mike's here and he is grafting. He's off out this afternoon, so we've got to get this finished this morning. So we've just got this top part to go on here and one row of blocks left, and then the filter shed walls are done. I love it when I stand here. No, straight away they're getting some grub. So Mike has been and gone, and he has done a fantastic job with helping me today. So now all the walls are completed. He's given me strict instruction not to drill the top for the roof for a couple of days, let it fully go off. But this recess in the wall is to allow the air source to sit down here. I'm sure that's going to look really good there. And we've also got the drain hole going down to ground. We'll need painting there. I'm not sure what colour to paint it. I've seen somebody, Michael from Elite Koi, I've seen he's painted his white and it looks so good compared to the black that everybody else paints their filter shed. They look really good. How amazing is it going to be to stand here, a nice opening window, and be able to feed the fish. I can't wait. It looks longer when you stood here than when... I'm excited for that now. It's all coming together. Few more jobs that I need to do before I put the glass in. That's just going to make it a bit easier. Like finish the fence off, the pipe behind it, and the coping. Paint this window. Once them jobs are done, I'm going to go straight on to getting the glass in and then filling it up. I have bought a separate filter system for this job, so it's not as if I have to steal the filter system off there to get the water cycling. Well guys, it is the end of the video. Massive shout out to Fusion Glass for hooking us up with that window. I cannot wait to get that installed, and Mike once again for coming here and being an absolute trooper. Thank you for watching this video. It means a lot to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, now would be a great time to hit the subscribe button. You can like it, and also the YouTube's new feature where if you swipe across on the comments, you can press the hype button and it pushes the video out on the algorithm to others to see. We'll see you next week, guys.